Today's February 15th, 2019, and this is episode 45 of Plane Savers. Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day here in Yellowknife on the Buffalo Airways ramp. It is minus 26 degrees Celsius, which is minus 11 degrees Fahrenheit, but there's zero wind. If you look, I don't know if you can see it, but the windsock, there's zero wind. So that sun is just beautiful. Couldn't be better. I'm so happy. Yesterday was such a fun episode. Okay, so today's theme of the episode is restorations. I'm going to feature a couple people that have restored airplanes, and we're going to go see them through the magic of video. But first, I want to tackle, we have a scare out of Montreal, an update for our D-Day airplane DTT. There was a big snowstorm and windstorm in Montreal, and there's some damage on the airplane. So let's go to that now, and I can show you the scare that we got through an email. Hello, Mikey. I went to the St. Hubert Air Base to look at your DC-3. I got a closer look at it, and here's a few shots after a snowstorm. I noticed some damage under the right wing. Dave. So if you look closely, there's actually a physical piece hanging off the airplane. This could be bad. Is this the aileron or is this the wingtip? Luckily, our man on the ground, Benoit, checked it out for us, and here's his report. The aircraft is fine, just a piece of the aileron that was torn down by the wing. Everything else is okay. I'll send more photos when I get back home. And so, folks, it was just a minor thing. But yeah, a little bit of a scare, but thanks for Benoit to be in there. And this is the kind of stuff you got to deal with if you leave an airplane out in the elements. And we're lucky to have Benoit ready to help at the moment's notice if there's another emergency. So thank you, Benoit. And let's head back to Yellowknife. Hey, folks. Oh, we got Stella and Dottie the cat. How's Dottie doing?
Dottie says hello.
She's been sick. So Stella, we had a pretty good episode yesterday.
Yes.
And how'd you like the tower thing?
I loved it. I want to go back there.
So yesterday, at the very end of the episode, we had just a fun trivia contest. Stella's been helping me out, checking all the emails down at planesavers@gmail.com. So Stella, how many correct answers did we get?
3 correct answers.
So we got 3 correct answers. Now, it was a little bit of a kind of a trick question, I guess. The first answer was Chili's. That was the only restaurant we filmed at, and that was episode 3. Now, the second question was, what was the date that LFR landed back in Canada? And so on episode, what episode was that, 30?
20.
On episode 20, we actually go and get the logbook of the pilot who flew LFR and landed in Canada for the first time after World War II. And that was June 25th.
1946.
1946. So those are the 2 answers. So the winner's being notified and the 2 runners-up have been notified as well. I'm going to send them a little extra something too. So let's head over to Indiana, where we're going to see how a Plane Savers fan did a restoration on Super Cub. So let's check this out.
Hey Mikey, this is Mark from Warsaw, Indiana. It was 12 degrees this morning, 12 degrees Fahrenheit. That's like pretty easy day for you. And in fact, I want to thank you because watching you survive up there in your bitter cold made it pretty darn easy for me to get through that little cold snap we had. Plus, I want to thank you for what you're doing with Plane Savers. It's just awesome. Really love what you're doing, and I consider myself to be a plane saver. And in fact, I got some stuff I want to show you here in a minute. But also, I want to show you right on the other side of this door here. I've got, hey, there's an airplane. This here is a J3 Cub fuselage. This is actually a spray booth, small spray booth in my garage at home. Got some things I got to fix here and a lot of work. But I recently did a Super Cub, and I want to show you a bunch of pictures. You and your viewers, see what you think of that.
So I've got 13 months of full-time work restoring this airplane. That's the finished look of it. 1959 PA-18A model Super Cub that I restored for a brother I have out in California who was also born in '59. Anyway, here's what the airplane looked like when it arrived in Indiana, and it was all intact, but it was a 57-year-old airplane that still had the original cotton fabric and factory paint. You can see here in the boot cowl, it was all beat up, the aluminum was. Same thing with the cowling, the nose bowl, just a lot of wear from, a lot of life. So I hoisted the airplane up into a small workspace that I had to use, about pulling everything off of the airplane, the fabric, everything out of that fuselage. eventually getting it down to just a skeleton of tubing. And at that point, I did a bunch of STC modifications like this enlarged baggage door and a 2-position rear seat. Even added some float fittings so that floats could be put on the airplane in the future. Then I went ahead and sandblasted the fuselage, a primer on it, and an all-new firewall. And then it was on to pulling that fabric off the wings. This is the original markings from the factory worker on January 2nd, 1959, and it's marked as a PA-18A model. I made some new leading edges for the wings out of aluminum, of course, and put new wood wingtip bows on. I work alone, so covering the wings is a problem when you have to flip them over all the time. So I hung the wings with the leading edge down and did all the work with the wings hanging in this one position, and it worked out fantastic. Here's another view with more of the fabric going on. Interior got completely redone, all new floorboard. Here's the fabric going on the fuselage. Fabric is shrunk, the interior is pretty well done, and everything's basically ready to start the spraying process. Do some Daytona white for the base coats, so there goes the layer of red paint on it. And then the fun part comes when you pull all that off and you can see what things look like. And wow, it looked fantastic. I was really happy with the look of everything. Fabricated an all-new boot cowl out of aluminum. Then eventually got the wings mounted and put in a new instrument panel with overhauled instruments. The engine finally back on the airframe. And if you look between the flaps here on the fuselage, you can see that hopper door could be used as a crop duster. You could pull the rear seat out, put a hopper in. Here is a finished airplane, and that's the first day that I flew it right there. I was very happy. It flew fantastic. In fact, there it is in the air. And that was all in July of 2018. Flew it up to Oshkosh and had a great time. My brother actually met me up there, and we were prepping then to fly to California after that. But before we left for California, actually wound up winning a really nice award up there at Oshkosh. So that was pretty darn awesome. So there she is, a 1959 PA-18A model, looking like new, and what a fantastic project. So cool to be a plane saver.
So I wanted to say thanks again, Mikey, for what you're doing with Plane Savers. I think it's awesome, and I'm thrilled to be a fan.
Thank you, Mart. That looked amazing. That Super Cub was very cool. You did an amazing job restoring that. Now let's go visit Dennis, who's at a museum in London, Ontario. Let's go check it out.
Hi, Mikey. This is Dennis at the Jet Aircraft Museum in London, Ontario, Canada. I'm the volunteer webmaster. I'm very much enjoying the Plane Savers videos and thought I'd quickly share with you some of the planes being restored here at JAM. This is the actual cockpit mock-up made by de Havilland during their development of the Dash 8. And this is the Red Knight, a CT-133 that we take and fly at air shows. This is one of 2 modern flight simulators at the museum. And we also have a Link Trainer flight sim from World War II. This CT-133 has been restored to flying condition and has been sold. This is a Hawker Hunter being restored to flight condition. The Jet Provost is one of our currently flying ships. And this is our static display CT-133. And the Rolls-Royce jet engine used in the CT-133. We have a collection of militaria and models of jet aircraft used in the Canadian Air Forces over the years. And my personal favorite, the CF-101 Voodoo, being restored for display. This very aircraft is the last to fly in active service for the Canadian military. Again, thanks so much for sharing your C-47 DC-3 restorations on YouTube. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to every episode.
So, folks, hope you liked that trip down to Indiana and going to see Dennis at the Jet Museum. We got to be on the good side of the jet, guys, because if we get a CF-104, we're going to probably be down in London, Ontario, asking for help. So it's Friday afternoon. One thing I want to get caught up on is I got a whole bunch of boxes here that people have sent me. I kind of pre-opened everything. I haven't looked inside of anything yet. Let's start off with this one right here. When you're opening boxes, you know, sometimes you cut into things. Look at this, custom DC-3, very, very cool. Oh, I see a Bart Simpson, a retro Bart Simpson, very cool. We got a mug, look at that, it's very cool. So here's a picture of Don and I in Oshkosh. Thank you for this awesome thing. Thank you for the check, a donation. We're gonna put it to good use, thank you. Look at that hair, isn't it crazy? I had long hair. Okay, moving on to the big one. What do we have here? Haverero Museum. Look at this Avarero stuff. Look at that. Very cool. Oh my lordy, look at that. Yeah, so folks, dude, this is awesome. Open houses are second Sundays of the month from 12 noon to 3 p.m. We can arrange tour groups. Check those guys out, the Avarero Museum. Thank you, William. Very cool. I'm going to go through this stuff and I'm going to hang this stuff on my wall. Okay, the next one here. Oh, we got a note. You need to do an episode pumping our swag. Montana Mikey, look, it's Montana Mikey. You can look at that awesome artwork from Montana Mikey. Look at this, folks. So I got a Miss Montana hat, Miss Montana shirt, Miss Montana sticker. This is so cool. Where am I going to put this here? MissMontanaDeNormandy.com. Check out their swag. Very cool. I love that sticker. So this next one here, Sparkline Automotive Works. Well, look at this. Oh my lordy, look at all these hats and stuff. Hey Mikey, a little something for Car Savers. Hope you find you in good health. Thank you so much. Look at this. To Chuck. Very cool. Okay, moving on to this one right here. Oh, look at this. A WestJet model. Another WestJet model. This is from Ed and Megan at WestJet. Thank you. Look at that, Buffalo Airways airplane with the WestJet. That's Ed's the CEO of WestJet. Megan runs a bunch of their programs. Thank you so much. Okay, last but not least, what do we have in here? What is this? Oh my lord, look at this. This is amazing. Look, it opened up and it's got the whole history of DC-3s. This is the first ever DC-3 ever made, and a replica data plate. Which we're missing on DTD. Maybe we can just use this on DTD. Rebecca and Samantha want to donate this to Plane Savers in memory of their grandfather, Robert Red Weber. Thank you, Stephen. This is amazing. I'm going to put this up in Plane Savers Studio in memory. So I want to dedicate today's episode to the memory of Red Weber. And just an amazing DC-3 history. Thank you so much. I'm going to show a little bit more about these pictures later. I'm going to put them in frames and put them up in the office. That really made me a day. Made my week. Thank you. Wow, this is so cool. Weber Family Ontario, thank you so much. Ed and Megan and WestJet, you guys rock. My buddy Donald. Thank you, Donald. We'll see you in Oshkosh. William, Avarero Museum, thank you. Amazing. You guys are doing great work. Montana Mikey, check out the website. Get this stuff. AutoWorks, Sparkline, Service Center, thank you guys. Thanks for the jacket for Chuck. How about this? I'm going to end the episode. We'll give Chucky his jacket. Found Chucky. Here, Chucky. This is from Will at Sparkline.
Hold that for a second there, brother.
He made a donation to the DC-3.
Yeah.
And yeah, he said there's a note that says to Chuck from
Well,
Will.
that.
There
We're
we
ready to go. What do you think, Mikey?
That's pretty good. So
Damn right.
Friday night, you're looking all right.
Yeah, I'm going to the bar. Going to go range, getting picked up. Sit down and look at these videos tomorrow, bro.
Tomorrow, that's right.
Yeah.
See, segue.
I'll be here because I got to work.
Tomorrow, Saturday, and we'll sit down and you're going to help me recognize what type of airplanes. Because you're from that era, right? 50s? Remember that?
No, I'm a little later. I come from the 60s.
Okay, good.
Okay, but is Rod going to sit down with us?
Oh, yeah. Rod will sit down. We'll get a whole bunch.
Yeah, get the whole bunch because Rod probably knows more about the airplanes than I do.
Cool. So I'm going to leave you guys with a quick taste of tomorrow's 8mm footage, tomorrow, Saturday episode. Special edition episode. We're going to go through that 8mm footage we got. Here's a taste. Have a good weekend. Chuck, you want to do the goodbye?
See you guys later. Save another plane, man.